The only shame greater than being an anime enjoyer is a gamer, so why not combine both? Here are the top 10 best romance anime based on visual novels. Number 10, a good librarian like a good shepherd.
私でよければ作るよ。
作れるのか？
それでね、筧くん、脱いでもらえるかな？
Who needs friends or lovers when you have a good book? While president of the library club and major nerd Koyotaru Kake was reading a book, he received an email from the shepherd, a being that can grant wishes to hard workers, aka nerds. Rushing to the train station, he encounters fellow student Tsugumi Shirasaki and saves her from impending death by train.
当然筧もコスプレしてもらうぞ。
いや、俺本読まないといけないから。
筧くんのコスプレ楽しみだな。
While the anime isn't revolutionary, it's a good time for fans of the genre. The plot actually leans more into the slice-of-life comedy, which serves it well. The characters are pretty diverse in personality, but they all have some history with the library, which makes their bonding and encounters more believable. The animation and music are great, and if you're looking to have a cozy time with a cute love story, then this anime's for you. Number 9, Maiji Tokyo Renka.
そんな険しい顔で睨まないでくれたまえ。僕の大事なフィアンセよ。
A lot of fans think they were born in the wrong generation, and now one of them gets to find out. Mei Ayazuki is your perfectly average nobody if you forgot about her pretty face, decent intellect, and kind heart. Totally average, definitely not a placeholder for the audience. Well, little Miss Boring finds herself in an alternate Meiji-era Tokyo by Charlie the Magician. Learning that Mei has super ghost powers, she finds herself surrounded by the handsome historical figures of this familiar world who all want to get to know her.
2階からコリスちゃんの声がしたものでね。
そのコリスちゃんって
お前のこと。
While there are only 12 episodes, there was some pretty great ones. The anime has a remarkable amount of compelling drama that works really well with the cast. The humor in the show is laugh-out-loud funny, and the theme of the show really hits you. With the second season in the works as of writing this, it might be a good idea to catch up now. Number 8, Myself, Yourself.
はじめまして。じゃあないか。昨日神社で会ってるから。おい、サナ。
ちょっと。
Moving away from your childhood home is never easy, but no one ever talks about the drama of moving back. Sana Hidaka had to shift from his quiet, peaceful town to the bustling city and leave behind an eclectic group of friends whose names I refuse to bother saying. They all promise that no matter how much time has passed, they'll still be friends.
さっき輪投げで取ったんだけど、こんなのいらないから7日にやる。
Starting with the art style, it really works considering the age of the anime and the themes of the story. The character designs are great, and the backgrounds fit well with the premise. The opening song and the rest of the soundtrack are a real banger. The real hook, though, is the story itself and the relationships between each character. The anime, while a romance one, focuses a lot of effort on the friendship between the characters, giving them a complexity that mere romance doesn't have. A hidden gem for sure. Number 7, White Album.
上がってかない？
だって
トウヤくんをじらしたから罰が当たったの。だから
バチってユキ。
もう後には取っとけない。
Celebrities really are just like people in that they're petty, vindictive screw-ups too. Average college student and idol singer. Could their relationship survive? Well, realistically no, but we live in the world of anime and realism has never stopped anyone before. Toya Fuji has enough to deal with from work and school, and to add to the pile, he's worried about how little time he spends with his girlfriend, Yuki Morikawa. Meanwhile, newbie idol Yuki has the stress of the celebrity life and cutthroat rivals to deal with while trying to make time for her personal life.
トウヤくん、私シングル出してもらえることになったの。
ユキ。
初めてのシングル、デビューシングル。
This anime is surprisingly gritty. There's a muddy sense of perspective and there's no action that's seen as completely morally right or wrong. The animation is great and there's excellent subtlety to their expressions. Naturally, the music is amazing considering the plot is about idols, so get to watching it. Number 6, Shuffle.
晩ご飯も頑張りますね。 今朝はちょっといいことあったし、
いいこと？
リンくんの夢に出演できましたから。
If you think your neighbors are wacky, wait till you see Shuffle. Tsuchimi Rin is your average Verbena Academy attendee living in a world where demons and angels are a real thing, thanks to some portal shenanigans. Still, even if they're real, it doesn't mean most people have to deal with them 24/7, unless of course they're your next door neighbors. Now, Tsumichi is contending with the sudden affection of the daughter of the demon and the angel lords, his childhood friend, his classmates, and more. Yep, it's a harem.
リンくん、
ありがとう楓。いつも頑張ってくれて。
The setup is pretty basic with the addition of the god stuff, and the harem girls have the usual personality sets. Tsundere, shy girl, childhood friend, etc. But they do add certain flares and quirks that make them fun to be around. The real entertainment is in the comedy, which goes all out with a lot of fan service for those that want it. Number 5, Fruits of Grisaia.
なんなんだ。俺に言いたいことがあるならさっさと言ってくれ。
じゃあはっきり言うけど、ねえ、私の彼氏になってよ。
Ever wonder what the baggage of having 5 girlfriends is? Well, you'll learn now. Yuji Kazami wants to have an ordinary high school life, and the rule goes that anyone who wants that never gets it. Instead, he's the only boy in the academy with 5 other girls, and that's it. Don't really know if you could call it an academy with that level of attendance. Regardless, it's up to Yuji to help them.
演技の練習でもしていたのか。
演技なんかしてないしてない。スヨース、だから何の遠慮もしなくていいの。いや、遠慮しなさい。
Now, this may seem to initially be the setup for your typical wacky rom-com harem, but this anime digs deep into each character's pain. Every character gets their time in the spotlight, feeling like actual people, all the while supported by beautiful animation and music. However, it's the trial and sorrow of the main character that really hits you, leading to a heart-wrenching anime that you can't help but tear up at. Number 4, Amagami SS.
もう一度眉毛にキスしてほしいんですけど。お願いします。
もう一度？
はい、一度だけでいいんで。
Heartbreak's never an easy wound to close, but 6 horny girls certainly help. Junichi Tachibana is your average high schooler who was stood up on Christmas. I mean, he probably deserved it, but that initial rejection has somehow made him ridiculously attractive to 6 gorgeous girls. After that incident, Junichi refuses to let anyone close to keep his heart safe. But a little something like trauma or depression isn't enough to stop these girls from putting the Merry back in Merry Christmas.
膝の裏。膝の裏でお願いします。
膝の裏？
The problem with most harem anime is that only a select few girls are ever given development. But in Amagami, each of the waifus has a fully developed story with a happy ending. This is also a part of why the anime is so good. The characters. In a romance anime, the characters make or break a show, and these 6 do a great job of making you want to see how things go. Number 3, True Tears.
彼氏いるんだろ。俺見たぜ。お前が一緒にいるとこ。だからもうやめてくれ。
待って、降りられないの。
自分で登ったんだろ。自分で降りろよ。
If you thought JoJo's adventure was bizarre, wait till you see this. Shinichiro Nakagami has the life his classmates could only dream of, sharing a house with popular girl Hiromi Yuasa. Only it turns out it's not so idyllic, as the Hiromi at home is miserable and aloof. A plan forms in the mind of Shinichiro when local weirdo Noe Isurugi curses him, though it does bite her in the end. After learning that Noe doesn't shed tears, he hopes that maybe he could give that instead to his ailing friend Hiromi.
お世話になってるから。
あ、この道歩いたよな。祭りの時お前はぐれちゃってワンワン泣いてさ。
Despite the strange synopsis, the story does become more clear as the series progresses. Speaking of, this anime has the honor of not following the story or characters of the visual novel it's based on. Regardless, the character development is well thought out and gives ample room for each to grow, and the animation is top-notch, especially the tears. Number 2, The Dreaming Boy is a realist.
夏川、一体どうし。かわいい。
可愛くない？
さっき芦田たちと帰ったんじゃなかったのか。
なん ね。
Whoever said persistence is key probably didn't mean it for it to include romance, and it took Wataru Sajo his sweet time to figure that out. The kid is rather famous for his perpetual stalking of fellow classmate Akia Natsukawa. After an uncomfortable amount of time in this routine, Wataru has an epiphany and realizes that nothing will happen between the two of them and decides to focus on his friends and other potential hotties.
あ、冷めてる。サジョッチ大丈夫？
ああ、不意打ちで死んだだけだ。
To start off, the characters are fun, especially the MC. Wataru's insight into human nature makes him interesting to observe and gives him more of a spine than other romance protagonists. Honestly, the guy carries the show as he treats characters with the self-awareness most others lack. Top that off with some fun humor, cool characters, and a boppin' soundtrack, and you have a good show. Number 1, Clan Ad.
去年長いこと学校お休みしてたんです。それでその。
ダブったのか。
あ、はい、ダブっちゃいました。
Tomoya Okazaki has something few male protagonists in this genre have. Personality. A lazy delinquent who believes he'll never amount to anything. He finds himself in an encounter with a young woman who has a real love for bread. Turns out she likes to shout about things she likes. Utterly baffled, but slowly intrigued, he begins to learn more about this girl, Nagisa Furukawa, and eventually befriends her. Now, he finds himself reviving the drama club with her and 4 other girls as he helps each of them overcome their obstacles and learn there's more to life than he thought.
私 B 組の古川渚です。
よろしくな。
はい、よろしくです。岡崎智也さん。
This anime doesn't try for realism, and that's to its benefit. It is cuteness overload, as the anime presents a rather sweet and endearing cast to life that you can't help but love. It's character-driven, and each of their arcs is fully completed, satisfying, which is why it's number 1 on our list.